Hello, grace and peace be multiplied unto you. I welcome you to today's lesson on the topic definite and indefinite articles. So today we will be looking at the uses of an, and the, and these are classified as definite and indefinite articles. So you take a look at which ones are definite and indefinite. Okay, so let's begin with definite articles. And so what are definite articles? So definite articles basically are a type or a class of noun modifiers, which is also called a determiner. But then what they do is they indicate things without specifying what they are. So they just give a general perspective of what the thing is. They don't specify exactly what the thing is. And typical example is an. So let's look at an. An is an indefinite article, and let's look at its uses. So uses of an is used for singular countable nouns. It's also used for generalizations. So like I said, it's used for generalization. It doesn't really specify the type. It's used interchangeably with any. So anytime you use the word an, for example, an orange, when you follow up with a question, which orange, the person might tell you any orange. Okay, so an goes interchangeably with any because it doesn't specify. It's used with vowels like a, e, I, o, u, and an basically comes before any word starting with a vowel. So let's look at an examples. They sit on an armchair. They sit on an armchair. His mother is an optician. We had an exam yesterday. You need to show an identification. The program requires an update. Okay, so that's how an is used in sentences. Okay, indefinite articles. So we have, still on indefinite articles, we have an and we have a. A is also an indefinite article and it's used for singular nouns. Also used for generalization. It's also used interchangeably with any. But the difference is that an is used for A is used for consonants, but an is used for vowels. So that's a little difference between an and a. They are the same. They are all indefinite articles, but just that one is used for vowels, used before words that start with vowels, and the other is used for words that start with consonants. So examples: I ate a persimmon. Sorry, I ate a persimmon for lunch. My grandmother was a lawyer. My new teacher asked everyone a question. A policeman warned me about traffic. I have got a pink bow tie. We saw a giraffe. I am starting to, I am starting to write a new book today. They are going to watch a movie, or they are going to a movie. So this is how a is used in sentences. Okay. So let's look at definite articles. Definite article, an example is the. So the is a definite article. It's a definite article. And so what is definite article? Definite article is also a class of noun modifiers which indicates specificity. So definite articles tells us exactly what the thing is, and they are usually used for unique objects when there is only one of the objects in the world, or for religious books. So let's look at example. The sun warms the earth. You realize that the earth is something that exists as one. You don't have so many earths, it's just one. So it's definite. It tells you exactly specific what it is. He watched the moon all night. There are many kites in the sky, the sky. My father knows the prime minister. The headmaster gave a speech yesterday. My brother can read the Quran. So you realize that the definite article there is for something that is specified, is for specificity. Something that's, I mean, exists as one, or for religious books. Okay, so let's look at indefinite articles, examples, and how they are used or pronounced. So early on, I said indefinite articles like an are used with vowel, and they can also be used with vowel sound. So vowel sound, when we say vowel sound, it's not a letter. It's just how the word sounds, and they are written with a silent H. We don't pronounce the letter H, especially when you find an indefinite article with a word starting with H. Let's look at examples. I watched him for an hour. So the H becomes silent. It's not I watched him for an hour. No. I waited for him for sorry. I waited for him for an hour. Your uncle is an honorary member. An honest person never lies. The king needs an heir. So the H is always silent. Definite articles like so it's used with consonant sound, and consonant sound is also not a letter. It's a pronunciation. So examples of consonant sounds, you realize that we have one and university. So when we are looking at consonant sounds, it's the beginning of the pronunciation, not the beginning of the word. This is not what we use to judge, but this is it. University. You realize there's a J in the pronunciation, and one is W, something like a W. So one. Okay. So these are consonant sounds. And compared to the previous one, which are vowel sounds, you realize that vowel sounds usually, okay, have a silent H. So consonant sounds like university. So we are not looking at the spelling of the word, but we are looking at the pronunciation. That the pronunciation begins with a consonant. That is why they are consonant sounds. Okay. So there is a one in my school number. Jane teaches in a university. So it's not there is an one in my school number. It's wrong. There is a one in my school number, and this one is not Jane teaches in an university. An university is wrong. There is a U-turn, not an U-turn. An U-turn is wrong. Children broke a utensil, not an utensil. We need a unanimous vote, not an unanimous vote. Okay, so you have to bear in mind that mostly consonant sounds like things that begin with U, usually, let's say UN, usually have a consonant sound like this. Okay, all right, let's move on. So definite article like there, it's also used when the second time you mention a noun. So the second time you mention a noun, you use a definite article. When the speaker and the listener both know the noun, you also use the definite article. With ordinal numbers, ordinal numbers are numbers of order, like first, second. So you can say he is the first, or he is the first in our class. These are ordinal numbers. With superlative adjectives, so, and then with famous buildings like the Eiffel Tower. So things that are famous, you can also use definite article there to refer to them. With directions, so turn to the left, turn to the right. Those are all examples. With country names, like political titles like the United Kingdom, you use there. So there is for specificity. Let's look at examples. So they bought a car. So this is the first one when the noun is repeated twice. They bought a car. The car is parked in front of the house. Okay. You need to turn right from the third street. So for directions, you use the for directions. On the right for directions. The most famous. So these are superlative adjectives like more, most, etc. Those are superlative adjectives. So the most famous, you realize you can't say most famous deserts. You have to use the article, the definite article there. When in France, we took photos of the Eiffel Tower. The Eiffel Tower. She didn't see the Statue of Liberty. So these are examples, and you can go into them. These are examples of the types or how they are being used. So let's look at how to pronounce the. Now we have two types of pronunciations. We have one that is the, and the other is the. And these two pronunciations are used in different circumstances. Example, the word, if the article comes before a consonant sound, a consonant sound like lakes, window, present, realize that these are all consonant sounds because consonants are apart from words apart from the vowels, letters apart from the vowels. All these are consonants. So he lived by the lake. My brother fixed the window. He didn't see the present. You cannot eat the pie. Okay, all these are consonant sounds. But let's look at how it's used with vowel sounds. Vowel sounds, you are the one and only person. You are the one and only person. The eye of the tiger. Did you talk to the organizer? The apocalypse. The end is nigh. Okay, so these are all vowel sounds. You realize that they begin with vowels. Okay, so that's how to use it in speech. So when you realize that the article comes before a consonant sound, you pronounce it the. And if it comes before a vowel sound, it's the. Okay. So let's look at definite articles. More uses. They are used with country names that include common nouns, with country names ending with plural s, with names of group of small islands for political regions, with rivers, sea names, names of mountains, etc. But more importantly, so let's look at examples. So with country names, we can have the Philippines. with countries ending with plural s. Let's look at example. The Bahamas, right? Let's look at with names of group of small islands. We have the Canary Islands, the Channel Islands, the Virgin Islands, etc. Okay, so these are how the article the is used. Can go through quickly. Okay, let's look at, more importantly, let's look at when not to use the article there. So when you are using people's names, usually we don't use the article there. Like you can't say I'm going to the Clara's place, I'm going to the Benjamin's place. No, we don't use that for titles. We don't use it for continents, countries. Like I'm going to the Ghana. No, it's not used. We don't use it for singular and big islands. We don't use it for mountains and lake names, names of days, months, and special days, languages, elements, sports, etc. So let's look at when the article there is not used. Like you can't say I met the Clara last weekend. Okay, you can't say they have the meeting with the Dr. Susan. You can't say I love the Americas because the Canada is there. No, you can't say she's from the Australia. You can't say the Mount Everest, the Lake Superior, the Mount Agri. No, she will visit us on the Monday. You can't say that. Everybody knows the English. You can't say that. So these are the list of how they can be used. And so basically, just a quick summary of what we've done so far. We've looked at what definite and indefinite articles are, looked at what they are. We've looked at an and and we realized that indefinite articles are used for generalizations. Okay, and then definite articles are used for they are used for specificity, to specify something. And we've also looked at how they are used and how the definite article there is pronounced with consonant sounds and vowel sounds, and also how they are not used. So thank you for your time, and I hope this video will help you to answer the questions I have given to you. Until we meet again, have a nice day. Bye bye.